then, you horrible lot. This week on Burntwolf Airsoft, Strange Tips for Airsoft, Part 2. These are mostly things I forgot to put in other videos, but there's a few hidden gems amongst them that don't really fit in anywhere else. First things first, counting. Now, I'm hoping counting something everyone watching this video can do. This one's a rather handy tip and something that I've used a lot. People, without realizing it, often fall into set routines and patterns, and people at Airsoft are no exception to this. This is especially true for players that are ducking in and out of cover. If you watch a player's moves and count the seconds they're in and out of cover for, a pattern will often emerge. They'll stay down for 5 seconds, then pop up for 3, and then down for 5 or something like that. Once you've worked out their pattern, it's all too easy to fire just before they're about to emerge, allowing your BB to be well on its way to meet them just in time. It also pays to be mindful of your own routine and count your own moves, just to make sure you've not been too obvious and have fallen into some sort of dance routine. It also helps, I've found, to mix up your fire pattern, so there's no obvious exploitable gaps. Now, while we're on the subject of fire patterns, try to avoid spam firing, aka pulling the trigger a lot in single fire. A lot of airsoft guns come with fire modes for a reason, and spam firing in single shot modes a great way to burn out the contacts in your airsoft gun, although this is something I'm very much guilty of doing myself. Now, sticking with the subject of not burning out contacts, another thing to avoid doing with your airsoft gun is never run LiPo batteries in guns that don't have MOSFETs. Now, it's not going to break it straight off the bat, and the higher rate of fire will be rather nice, but increasing the power flow through contacts that were not made to handle it is a surefire way to cause damage over time and burn your contacts out. Now, a few tips for airsoft mags. Firstly, mid-cap and low-cap mags. These can take some time to break in, and when they're new, the spring can be rather overpowered and cause misfires. So, with new mid and low caps, it pays to only half load them for the first few games to allow the spring to bed in. Also, when loading double stack pistol mags, rocking the mag from side to side really helps get those BBs stacked up right faster, rather than holding it level and trying to get them all to stack up right after. Next, something for the snipers. Going back to what I said in a previous video about hop-up working best at 90 degrees to the horizontal, a good way to limit flyers and make sure everything's lined up for the shot is to add a spirit level to your sniper rifle. Checking the bubbles bang in the middle will limit any deviance of the BB downrange that could be caused by the hop-up being tilted to the left or right a bit. This often explains a lot of missed shots, as although you were lined up perfectly, the ground you were on may not have been. You can get cheap spirit levels from the pound shop, and using a bit of hot glue or a modified grip can easily attach one of these to your airsoft gun, or failing that, you can buy them pre-made. Now, lastly, one for the old kit bag. Now, I'm sure at some point we've all had a few problems with damp kit or cold condensation causing rust or even mold in our kit bags. Of course, there's no substitute for actually getting your shit together and properly airing out your gear at the end of a day. But I found over the years that by adding these little silica packs to your kit, especially if you're going to store it for long periods of time, problems with damp can be cut right down. Of course, you'll need to change them over from time to time, but whenever I get anything electric or anything like that which contains one of these, rather than binning them, I chuck them straight into my kit bag to start work on sucking up any excess moisture that may be present. Of course, do refrain from eating them, as tasty as they may appear. And that's a few more strange and random tips for airsoft. I hope you found this guide helpful. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more airsoft tips, tricks, reviews, and how-tos. Anyway, back to whatever you were doing. At ease.